Desdemona and Emilia in Othello by Shakespeare. Introduction. Shakespeare's plays never become obsolete because they reveal the intricacies of human relationships and minds. Othello remains a classic masterpiece even today because it ignites the discussion of modern tendencies. Given this, it is still difficult to decide if either Desdemona or Amelia has contemporary views on men because both were unhappy in marriage. Desdemona's strengths and weaknesses. Desdemona is one of the central characters of the play, who embodies true love and does not fear the unmerciful judgment of society. The woman falls in love with Othello, an older Moor who is not accepted by Venetian society. Desdemona demonstrates a range of strengths that make her a prominent figure in the drama. Regarding her love for Othello, one can admit the immense boldness of the heroine because she is not afraid of being an outsider with her lover. Moreover, Desdemona is not interested in the richness of numerous admirers and forsakes potential husbands, but it is impossible to call her selfish or arrogant. On the contrary, the character puts feelings above material benefits, which emphasizes her disposition to real values. Furthermore, when Desdemona's father learns about the secret wedding of her daughter and Othello, the heroine is bold enough to tell the truth. Thus, the main female character possesses such strengths as adherence to true values, boldness, and honesty. Nevertheless, Desdemona's virtues seem to faint under Othello's pressure and jealousy. The marriage of two supposedly happy people developed particular weaknesses in the wife of a cruel husband. Some of them are her submissiveness, naivety, and kindness, which harm her personality in marriage relationships. On the one hand, Desdemona's desire to go to Cyprus with Othello may suggest her loyalty and limitless love for her husband, as well as her desire for adventures and danger. However, it also points out that she is always attempting to be like Othello, which looks strange given the socio-cultural foundations of those times. Moreover, she is naive and does not realize the threat of leaving for Cyprus. Besides, Desdemona seems to have had high expectations of marriage that impeded her from the clear-eyed assessment of Othello. Emilia's strengths and weaknesses. Emilia is Desdemona's friend and advisor, though it does not prevent her from acting dishonestly toward the main female character. Nevertheless, Emilia looks more cynical and practical compared to Desdemona. One can assert that Emilia's strengths developed from the marriage with malevolent Iago. Desdemona's friend lives without illusions concerning how men can treat women. Such attitudes contribute to Emilia's efforts to support and understand Desdemona in her unhappiness. Although she steals the main heroine's handkerchief given by Othello, she sacrifices herself to uphold the honor of the tragically murdered Desdemona. Emilia's weaknesses also seem to stem from her unfortunate marriage to Iago. She desperately wants attention and recognition from her husband, which leads to the formal betrayal of Desdemona. Despite her daring nature, Emilia is even more eager to please her husband than Desdemona. Moreover, Desdemona's friend's disingenuous behavior infuses distrust because, after all her betrayals, she manages to redeem herself. It suggests that Emilia is exceedingly selfish and is not bold enough to play a fair game. The most negative characteristic of this figure is her wish to keep a foot in both camps, which makes her a hypocrite. Female characters' views of men. Analyzing the attitudes toward men of both female characters, one can assume that such traits exist in the modern world. Desdemona idolizes Othello in her love for him and looks exceedingly dedicated to her husband. However, she gradually realizes that her marriage relationship is far from a dream because of Othello's jealous accusations, which makes her discuss adultery with Emilia. In this conversation, one can admit that Desdemona is inclined to loyalty and marital fidelity. It suggests that she respects men because they deserve honest treatment as any other person in the world. Thus, her beliefs correspond to the contemporary understanding of how to build a strong relationship. Nevertheless, one cannot say the same about Emilia because she demonstrates polar opposite views. This character regards men as heartless beasts who use women and abandon them when they are full. She seems to fully accept and endure disrespectful treatment despite she does not like it. Furthermore, Emilia chooses the only way to express her discontent by complaining to Desdemona behind Iago's back. Amelia's views are exceedingly patriarchic, though many modern women also tend to think so. Therefore, the views of men of both characters correspond to the contemporary context because both female prototypes currently exist. Conclusion. In conclusion, Desdemona and Emilia possess such traits that make it complicated to choose whose views on men are more modern. Desdemona has many illusions that impede her from looking at the bitter reality of her family life. In turn, Amelia seems perplexed by her relationship with Iago despite her sharp expressions concerning men. Both of them can be considered to have contemporary attitudes toward males because their prototypical behaviors exist today. However, from the perspective of rightness, neither Desdemona's nor Amelia's disposition can lead to healthy relationships in a modern family.